My goodness, today is the day. It's finally time for our first garden tour of this season, and I am so excited about it. So I have been waiting. I've been looking forward to our first garden tour since the gardening season, the spring season started, since it started. Had so much going on. I cannot believe it's already the end of May. And so I decided to call it End of May Garden Tour because it's better late than never, right? If you are new here, my name is Taquisha and this is our Freedom Song. And we are so happy that you've decided to join us today. Absolutely beautiful morning, and I'm so happy to be out here preparing to show you guys the garden. And so just a little bit of information. We have been in our home for about 2 years now, and so this has been a whole renovation project. And so not only have we been renovating outside, we have been renovating inside, and we are currently still doing our kitchen remodel, and I'm going to update you guys on that very soon because our kitchen is very much so a part of our garden in my mind anyway. We started gardening last year. I cannot even believe it's already been a year. We have learned so much and so much has changed. I know this footage is really bad because it's from last year and I was just learning all the things all at once. But our garden has changed drastically. We just started from our humble beginnings, with our couple of planter boxes. I think we had four that Thomas had built, and we had some just some in-ground spots. That's where we started, and I just want to encourage you, keep dreaming it up, keep planning, keep, looking around and seeing what you have that you can use to create a garden that you will absolutely love, because that is what we are doing. That is definitely a part of our Freedom Song. I'm excited to show you all the parts, not just the good parts. I want to show you where our pest pressure is, what's doing well, what's not doing so well, what's growing, and what did not. Lover of all things homemade. I love being a homemaker. I absolutely thrive off of that. I love being a mother and a wife. And so this is an extension of that part of myself. And so I do hope that you will enjoy these things just as much as I am. I know you guys click for the tour, so I don't want to keep you waiting. Let's get to it. So I know you guys been waiting for an update, so let's start right here with this garden bed. After reading all you guys' comments and suggestions, I am planning to remove the plastic after the spring season. As you can see right here, the soil has settled and probably broke down a little bit at the bottom, but I think it's more of a settling more than it is a breakdown of what we filled it with. And so in some spots in the inside, you can see that the what we use underneath that liner is exposed. In other areas like this, it's still very much so tucked. And so it may be from just the soil not being even in all the spots as well. That really is the only thing I can say about this bed that is a negative. And really, I didn't fill it all the way up, because we were already putting like 4 or 5 cubic feet of soil in there. So I was trying to do the least I could do for the moment. But as the season continues and these things grow, I can always add the soil. The exciting part is taking a good look at the things that's actually growing in this bed. So, a couple things. I ended up removing all of the rosemary that was in here because I realized pretty quickly that this bed stays very moist. So this bed stays very moist, and that rosemary did not like this bed. I knew that the rosemary didn't like the bed because it actually started to get brown tips. And when I looked up what caused brown tips, it could be wet feet or being overwatered. So last year, the rosemary was up in our planter beds, and up along the side of our house in a window seal, and it didn't have any brown tips at all, but it's pretty dry and sandy up there. So I'm thinking that the rosemary just likes a drier soil. Look at that pretty white blackberry. So our berry inside of this box actually shot up 2 new shoots and is doing really, really well. About 8 sunflowers in this bed as well. And the creature, the little worm that does this, has decimated so many things in the garden. So looking like we are going to be having some tomatoes to harvest very soon. Hazel really likes it here. From my experience, and I mean, this is only our second year, but the basil really, really loves moist soil versus the rosemary that didn't like it at all. This is wanting to go to seed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to snip it right down here, and then it's going to bush out even more. So I've already harvested tons of basil from all over the garden. This is purple basil. A ton of marigolds popping up, and all of these are from seed. Also have a ton of lemongrass popping up, which is going to be a problem. But I am going to remove these and replant them elsewhere. I said overall, I am so happy with this bed. This area looks so like 150,000% better than it did last year. It just really elevated this spot. Thank you guys again for all the neat suggestions about burlap and all the things and making it stronger. Like all of those things we get to stick in our pockets, and when we need it, we could just pull it out. So let me show you what's growing on the porch. So this is geranium, and I bought this on clearance and just pruned it up, and it's so beautiful. So many of you guys told me that geranium is one of those ones that help repel mosquitoes. Right below it we have a dahlia plant. Isn't she lovely? Look at you trying to bloom. Picked this beauty up on clearance. She was looking rough, but man, we've saved her. And right below the dahlias, we have some African marigolds. So I was told that African marigolds specifically are so great for repelling mosquitoes. Several things planted right over here, and one specific thing that I want to point out is this yarrow right here. I am so excited about it. It is such a wonderful herb, and I'm just so excited to be growing it as an element of beauty, but it's still very much so medicinal. And so I love, love, love that. This is my first time growing lemongrass as well as citronella. It has already grown tremendously in the last couple weeks. It is growing very fast. In zone 8B, these plants won't last through the winter. So I am planning to hopefully shelter them from the cold in the greenhouse. And right behind that citronella and lemongrass, we have lavender. Yo, I wasn't playing no games. Like whenever I said I needed all the things that repel mosquitoes right over here by each other. Okay, so next let me give you a look at what is growing in our planter boxes. Those are our file cabinet planter boxes, as well as in the bed behind the planter boxes. In our first planter box, this is peppermint right here. And then we have some beans. And we have something that is loving to eat the bean. Oh, it's a slug. That's what it is. So we didn't have any slugs last year. We did not deal with slugs at all. So this is about to be a brand new thing. Okay, so next to our bean, we have more peppermint, but this is actually spearmint. And so still in the mint family here as well as here. This we have a leek going to seed in all its beauty. This is actually how it starts, and then it just explodes. Right behind this first bed, we just have so many pepper plants, actually called sweet banana peppers. I have some beans growing up here as well, and lots of flowers that are just making their entrance into the world. Here is a rosemary that I took out of the planter bed in the front, and I transplanted it over here, but these are those brown tips. It doesn't look worse. It doesn't look better yet. I don't know if I should just like prune it back, what I should really do, but I transplanted it over here to try to save it, and the roots looked very brown and almost rotted. And so I'm pretty sure they were overwatered. Next up in our second file cabinet planter, we have lots of tomatoes. Also put one of the rosemaries here as well, and it's looking pretty good. It's the type of damage that I'm seeing in different places all over the garden, and they typically have a whole bunch of little worms underneath there. Some of them are solid green, some of them look like they're black, red, and white. So behind that second planter box, we have 4 tomatoes, and all of these tomatoes up here in this bed are determinate. The tomatoes stay covered in these little white, I'm assuming they're aphids. First they were just on the bed in the front, and now they're spreading. Make a concoction of some chili pepper flakes, boil that up and put it in a spray bottle, and it did really seem to help. I have 6 determinate tomatoes all together in the front, and then I have the 6 determinate tomatoes in the garden. Still haven't thought of a name. Like, should I call this front garden and that gated garden? Like, or all of it? I don't know. Still trying to figure that out. He really wanted to try out determinate tomatoes so that I could try my hand at canning. Is our last planter box, and I can see that evidence now. I know that that's a slug because that's the evidence of a slug. Right behind that we have some lemon balm. These are our beans. Our beans are really taking a hit from all types of different things this year. I get to add slug. Slug 2. Oh, there's something big underneath there. I could see it. Oh, it's not. My eyes playing tricks on me, y'all. More tomatoes. Somebody wants a big harvest of tomatoes this year. Behind that, we have more sweet banana peppers. This is a basil. And lots of little flower seeds. Oh, and we have one right here that's ready. So we've actually been able to harvest a good bit of these banana peppers, and they are so good. Something demolished this marigold inside this box. Wow. Maybe slugs? So beside there, we have our sweet potato bed. Sweet potatoes are looking really good. There's actually a lot of things growing in this bed along these sweet potatoes. The interesting bug that's attacking these does these little dots. See lots of marigolds popping up like the flowers and seed pods of a radish. Some type of radish. I should taste the flower. Let me just taste it. And then we can both know. You know what? I didn't check to see if there was a bug in that first. Hmm. Hmm. Don't taste bad. Okay, so I can see that there is, and here's the seed pods. The seed pods are coming up right there. I can see there's a carrot right here. Should, let's just do it. Oh no. What is this? Oh wait, it's fragrant. I just pulled something that wasn't a carrot. I thought it was a carrot, but this actually smells really good. No idea what this is. Maybe parsley? I do see some type of bug. Maybe that's the bug that does the little holes right there. There's also this, which I don't actually know what it is, but it looks like food. Surely this is a carrot, right? I wonder. Okay, you gotta watch where you put your fingers. It's so big. Let's pull this and see what it is. Oh, it's a carrot. Nice. That's fun. That's a fun surprise. There's the blah, blah, blah. Look at that. That's what's tearing up our garden right there. Those. So let's walk right over here to this trellis. I feel like this is a perfect day to harvest something. So let's just pull it up. It's like nothing there. That's all it produced. Man, with all that foliage. I should have left it. Should have left it. So our green beans are really looking good over here. Lots of things growing in the green stalk. We have some strawberries. And I did stick a couple tomatoes in here. Now I know that's unconventional because that's a full size tomato right there. And I believe that this one is a Turkey purple, if I'm not mistaken. But I did, and I don't know what's going to happen, but I was just out of space and I had space in the green stock. So it's very experimental. I put it in there and it has grown because it was teeny tiny, looking like it was just going to die. Put it in here and it's very much so alive. This is St. John's wort, majorium, the strawberry flowers. Is a baby tomato. Some calendula. I believe that's the snow princess. So that's going to be really pretty. That's a flower. Stuck some pepper plants in here that I didn't have any more space for, just to see how it would do. The green stock, we have some sage, sweet Genevieve basil. Mystery. So, but this looked like this might be a zinnia. Is one of those beauties that we brought back to life. I showed you guys that we got some things on clearance and this was looking horrible, but after cutting all of that foliage just back, cutting off all the dead parts, it has just come back to life so beautifully. This is another beauty. I actually recently got it. I celebrated my 37th birthday and a friend brought me a plant, and She accidentally ran it over in the driveway. And so we pruned it up and it is doing so good. It's amazing how you can bounce back even after being ran over in the driveway. So this porch file cabinet is a new addition to the garden this year. We'll be growing these cucumbers up here, all types of different. So we have lemon. This is the suyo long that I raved about last year. I'm so excited about it. This is suyo long. This is a tasty green. And this is Armenian, I believe. This is Armenian. And this last one is what is it? A small 80. I'm planning to do is make a trellis. So this is our chocolate mint that is doing really, really well and spreading out. Wait, did I just pull out the roots? What's going on here? Why is this like this? Maybe I just rooted it. Let's just stick that back in there. Let's just cover that up. And so yeah, so this is a chocolate mint and it smells divine. I just am so fascinated with that middle part. You see how beautiful that is? That is just gorgeous the way it's all like windy like that. So we have another dahlia up here, has some lemon mint. Goodness, look at this beautiful bloom on this yarrow. That is so pretty. Going on over here is on purpose. Look at that vine. This is a berry vine and I need to trellis it. I need to stick it in the trellis that I have there for it. I don't have on gloves right now, so I'm not gonna handle it. So over here is where we planted our onions and garlic. Onions are not looking great. I tried looking in there a couple days ago to see, because these just like the stems just died and fell over, but it's still so small. This is actually not a great place to plant. The reason why I don't think that this was a great place to plant the onions and garlic is because one of the reasons, I don't believe it got enough sun. Because we got some bulbs that you could tell were very thick as far as the stem, and then but the majority of them stayed pretty small. Another reason why this wasn't, so I just believe it didn't get enough sunlight. Another reason why this wasn't a good spot is because on the edge that goes around the corner, it's so easy to clip the garlic. And that happened. Barley's our puppy, and she ran through and just snapped. And we had a good thick one, and she just snapped that thing in half. So just being kind of in the way of things, definitely going to be trying again. Do believe the method of planting store-bought garlic works. I absolutely believe that. We lost all of our onions that we did the high density planting with. It's the most inexpensive way to do it is buying it from seed. So it's not time to pull it up. I'm just seeing that a lot of our stems are turning brown and flopping over, and our onions, they aren't thickening up as far as on the actual stem. And so I'm just really convinced that the onions aren't going to get much bigger. The garlic still has a little bit more time, and a lot can happen in 4 6 weeks. And so when it's time to harvest, I think it's in June, and so a lot can happen in that short amount of time. Look at this. When I look in there, it's like the teeniest, tiniest thing. So that didn't do great. So I'm actually not going to be planting any more food in this area after these things get pulled up. The thing that I believe that I did wrong with these things that really have stunted or prevented the growth is planting them too deep. I believe that I planted them too deep into the soil, and that is causing issues now. This just broke. Like it just broke off, and it looks like, I don't even know, like garlic on the top. Ooh, there's slugs in there. Oh, there's slugs in there. Next up is the garden porch. Garden porch is looking lovely. So we created this last spring, summer for pretty much nothing. We dug up that urbanite, which is the broken concrete, and we just laid it down with some sand and just took the bamboo and put it with these cinder blocks that we already had and painted it. This space is pretty much came together for little to no money, literally. I threw out all these seeds last year for a ground cover because I just thought it would be so cool to have a ground cover in between the cracks. And so this is a type of oregano, actually, a ground cover oregano, and it's so beautiful and it smells so fragrant. So happy to see it popping up in all the little cracks. Side here we have some mint and we have some lemon balm, and I actually found this on the side of the road. Fire pit turned planter. I just thought it was going to be so perfect as a fire pit until I put it on the garden porch, and I was like, wait, I could grow something in there. So we have more lemon balm in here. Huge elephant ear growing next to our raspberry. I think this is some type of raspberry vine. So I think because the video is so long that I'm going to do two parts. I'm going to do a front yard garden tour, and then I'm going to do our garden tour. I don't know what to call it, but I think splitting it up in two parts would be so much better because this video, like I have so much to show you. That's going to be all for the front yard garden tour. Stay tuned because I'm going to be uploading the garden tour part 2 coming up soon.